So let's face it, shopping for clothing online sucks. And that's because it's really hard to find out if something actually fits. And that's why you hit into problems like these, right? The one on the left is a muffin top, and on the right is a plumber's butt. Typical problems that most people actually face. Goodfit solves this problem by recommending exactly what size the shopper should wear based on their body shape. This problem of poor fit is completely quantifiable. In 2011, of the $39 billion done in online sales, $8 billion of it was returned due to poor fit. That's a 20% return rate. Retailers are looking for ways to reduce the returns and increase their sales. Our process is very simple. We ask 5 simple questions. It takes you under a minute to fill out, and best of all, we require 0 measurements. Let me walk you through this process. Our platform integrates directly into the e-commerce sites of different apparel retailers. You can see this integration over here with the Goodfit Find Your Fit button. When shoppers click on it, a modal pops up. Let's just go ahead and get started. The very first question we ask is, what's the very first size jeans you try on? The next 3 questions, age, height, and weight. And finally, typical problem areas that you face when you shop for a pair of jeans. And when you click on next, you're done. It's really that simple. Over on the top, you can see exactly what size you should wear and how it fits your body. And on the right-hand side, you can see how this specific pair of jeans will fit so that the shopper can make that better informed decision. By doing this, we can help the retailers ultimately reduce their returns and increase those sales. We're really excited because right now we've tested this on hundreds of women across 20 different brands, and we can say that we can recommend with about 90% accuracy. This is a chart of where we currently stand. We focus on simplicity without sacrificing accuracy. Most of the other solutions out there require you to measure yourself. Most people don't own a measuring tape, and even if you do, you tend to measure yourself inaccurately. We're currently focused on women's denim, and we're about to finish up our beta. We'll be launching with one of LA's fastest growing denim brands later this year, and also one of Canada's largest denim brands. And in the near future, we'll be expanding to men's denim. We have a pretty well-rounded team from business folk as myself, and also a very technical team from Monica Schaefer, whose expertise is in artificial intelligence, to Nick Leong, whose background is in back-end development. Our official advisor right now is George Ackerman, who is a founder of Chaps by Ralph Lauren, and also the former CEO of Calvin Klein. And with that, I thank you, and open for Q&A.
Could you do a quick turn for us? Looks good. Tight butt. Oh, looking good. All right. Tom, quick feedback, thoughts, questions, but you're waiting to answer.
I liked how you started off with humor. I love the visuals there. And the muffin top really capped it all there. I was curious, what's the cost savings this will present to a retailer, and what's your evidence that you can actually deliver on that?
Hold on, we're going to go down, we're going to come back. So cost savings.
Feedback or questions?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, come a little closer. I mean, I think feedback or question,
okay.
But what happens is we go back and forth, it'll take 20 minutes.
You're going to have to remember 7 questions, but
yeah.
then answer them all in 30 seconds.
So feedback if you have any thoughts. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I like the idea. My concern is it's about cost savings rather than growing the top line, and that's always a tougher business. It's probably one from a venture eye that unless that really, the return number is not just because of fit. There's a lot of different things that go into that, and so I'm not sure how big a business this could be, and so I'd like that to be presented in this type of presentation.
All right, Jed.
Look, I think it's a good idea. Tools like this certainly help e-commerce sites do better. I think long term, I'd wonder if especially the branded sites are going to want their own solution, and if they're going to try and copy what you're doing, or if you can, have enough elements of it that you're constantly improving on that they just have to keep working with you.
I love that it's a simple solution, and I love that it's at the point where I'm actually having to make the decision. The feedback I have and the question I have is, I think it would be greatly improved if you actually understood the various aspects of the brands themselves, because especially like in designer clothes, different sizes mean very different things. And one of the things I find most useful when I'm online shopping at Zappos or something is the true to size, too big, too small, what the other consumers who've bought that product can tell me about it, because size is a really imperfect measure. So I'm curious as to what your plans are to incorporate actual knowledge about the specific brands and even down to the specific items, because I think that's the only way you're really going to ultimately differentiate yourself, is through building up this large amount of data about how that is, and also how you might use customer feedback to further refine what you're doing.
I thought it was a nice presentation. I like the fact that you succinctly were able to show a little bit of the elegance of the solution for what seems to be a difficult problem, as well as a little sense of the user experience. The piece that I thought was missing and I'd like to hear more about was exactly who the customer is, with some more finite facts about that, and how you make money from the customer.
I mean, I like the area that you're going after. I think it is a very real problem with e-commerce in terms of fit for apparel and returns. I mean, I guess my concern would be that there have been a bunch of folks that have tried this in the past in a variety of different ways or different approaches, and yours is different. You mentioned that tape measuring isn't so accurate. I guess I'd want to understand a lot more about why those companies haven't worked. And my suspicion is one of the things about this is it takes a lot of integration with the brand or the retailer or both to measure the clothing, I imagine, and then kind of correlate measurements to fit and all that. So there's a lot of integration and work on the retailer or brand side. So I think the sort of ROI for them has to be super clear, which I didn't get from the presentation as much.
All right, you got a couple minutes to give answers to that.
Yes to all. So there's a myriad of questions here. I guess the gentleman in the yellow shirt.
Tom.
So we actually do one of two things. We do kind of the bottom line reduction based on the reduction in returns, or bottom line increase, should I say. But also, one thing we want to help do is increase those conversion rates. So we're actually increasing the top line as well. So that's kind of the two main selling points we want to do. One is reduce returns, and two is increase those sales, because if you're more confident in your purchase, you're going to buy more and buy more often. There's a couple of questions about integration and actual brands. So one thing that we've actually done is, the reason we've actually, let me go to this slide about the actual testing. So we've tested this on 20 different brands, and when I say that, we actually went to the mall and we bought literally hundreds of different jeans, everything from J brand to Hot Topic, and we actually bought them, we scanned them, and we had hundreds of them come through. We physically put jeans on them, and we understand exactly the differences in each one of these jeans. For the first few customers, we'll also do a very similar process, but from there on, it's pretty much automated, right? And this goes back to your point, Eric, which is one of the reasons that solutions in the past might have failed is because they weren't scalable. And we have a process now where it's literally just a one-line integration with the actual site. In terms of the product integration, we take the physical schematics from the products instead of actually scanning them. So we have a very quick way to offload.
Awesome. Andrew, thank you. You right there. Great job. Nice work.